Hello, I'm ELYTRA and welcome back to episode 305 of my Minecraft Xbox Update Adventures Let's Play. This is a Let's Play where I'm playing through the various updates that have come out for Minecraft on the console, building stuff, killing stuff, and of course, destroying stuff. And in today's episode, I really wanted to do some of the banners. I collected a bunch of them last week, and that is something that is still on the radar, but something that I really wanted to do in the meantime was fly around with the fireworks. I've been doing this so much recently. It's a lot of fun. It's honestly one of the best features in any update ever, but I've got this problem. I've been wasting fireworks. I have just 17 left, and that's after crafting some more. So this raises the question of like, so what do I do now? If I'm out of fireworks, I need to get some more. What do you need to make fireworks? You need gunpowder. And although I've got some over the world I could use, I need to work out a sustainable way to get more gunpowder, so I figured why not do a little bit of a science experiment live in the Let's Play episode and see how much gunpowder we can get in a certain amount of time. Like, let's do like a 5-minute timer and let's see how much gunpowder we can have in those fire. Whoa, that wither skeleton has, oh, okay, awesome, wither skull. But yeah, basically, that was a very lucky start to the episode. This is going to go well based on just that single event. But yeah, I figured because of that, why not try and, see how many ghosts we can kill in a certain amount of time, or how much gunpowder we can collect, because I have a looting sword, which should in theory make this pretty good. Again, for most sane people, pro tip, this isn't what I recommend. For most sane people, I just say, like, go ahead, how do I kill that ghost if he's midair? I guess we could fly after him. I mean, it's not a bad idea, it's just, actually it is a bad idea. But yeah, basically that's what I figured we could do, and it could be quite fun in my opinion. So, yeah, actually, wait. There was one thing we should do first, which is get paper from all the way on the other side of the world, and the reason for that is because to make fireworks, if I want to, like, float in midair permanently, you're going to need fireworks. And also, if I'm not mistaken, I have like a really, really low durability on my ELYTRA. It's like that low, which means I can probably last like maybe 3 or 4 more firework trips. But I shouldn't risk it too much more than that. So we're just going to fly up there now. It's probably going to like break in midair, knowing my luck, because we're so close to the bottom. But rather than letting it break, because it makes this sound and then you just fall out of the sky, I have learned this the hard way, as it so turns out. But yeah, instead of doing it that way, I figure why not just repair it now, get the paper so we can make gunpowder. Because, fun fact about the portal on this side of the world is I have more paper than any human can ever have any idea what to do with. And not only do I have more paper, I can get more paper faster than anyone can do anything with it, which is pretty cool stuff. So yeah, we'll throw the wolf skull on there, just for fun, I guess. We'll grab a bunch of paper, and then we'll get some leather, we'll get this going, and then we'll do our little timer. Because I want to experiment. Honestly, the Let's Play, it's sometimes about like, oh yeah, there's this big thing I want to build, but sometimes it's just like, I'm curious, is this the best way to do your survival? Because it's funny, a lot of this channel is just about like, oh yeah, this is the best way to do this in Minecraft, here's a handy way to do this you might not know enough. Like, I like to believe that like, in some way I'm helping people do stuff, I like to believe in some way I'm helping people, do things in Minecraft a little bit better in some ways, and I hope that today's thing can be that, but even better. So we'll take the gunpowder from here, we'll fix up the ELYTRA with some, I think it takes like 4 leather to fix all the way. Because pro tip, even if you have an enchantment on here, because this is a really good ELYTRA, even with an enchantment, it's still like 10 levels. That's actually quite a bit. But even with an enchantment, it's still, yeah, it's 11 levels, go all the way to the top, and then it doesn't need to be fixed for a very long time. And honestly, I'd recommend, I think I have a mending book somewhere, I'd probably recommend like putting mending on this too, but I don't want to have too many enchantments on my ELYTRA, so I just haven't right now. Anyway, with that said, let's go back to the Nether, let's do our test, and let's talk about what I want to talk about this week. It's not just all about gunpowder, but that's just like the big thing I want to find out. Like, in the same way I help people, I figure this could be helpful for you, but it's also mostly just like, I'm curious about this stuff. If I'm being truthful, maybe this is like really more selfish than anyone ever, or maybe everyone does this, but like the reason I make videos is because they're the sorts of videos I'd really like to watch if I was like a YouTube watcher. Like, I wonder why people haven't gone through and found this stuff out, and then I go through and find it out, and that's kind of how most of the channel came about, truthfully. So yeah, we need to find ghasts now. Ghasts are found up there. I'm going to need to use a firework, but I'm going to try and like avoid to the last second, and yeah, we're going to start our timer, I guess just start it right now. So 5 minutes have started, I've got like a Google timer. Fun fact, if you just search stopwatch, Google will give you a stopwatch, and we're going to see how many ghasts we can kill. It's preferable that I don't run into them like this, but it's kind of fun if I do it this way anyway. And, we had how much gunpowder before? I'm not actually sure. I think it was 13, so that's 1 already, let's say. And because we have the looting sword, again, instead of just getting 1 gunpowder, and sometimes 2 from a ghast, we should be able to get 3, or sometimes even 4, I think. Again, the way looting works seems to change a little bit sometimes, and from different mobs, but I believe in this case, that's how that works. That ghast just disappeared, that's lovely. And also while I'm around here, I'm going to set up some like cobblestone networks so I can do stuff like, oh yeah, It'd be nice if I could go over this gap without having to, like, jump or fly or something. Just, you know, small stuff like this. I want to get done right now. And, yeah, that's what we'll do. So, just over here, there should be some gunpowder. Let's see how much gunpowder. Because, again, if we get... so, getting 1 ghast here is the expected amount. But more than that, you're doing pretty well. And there are so many ghasts around here. Like, attacking them all is going to be tricky. And also, I figured this would be a good way to improve my ghast experience. I'm so bad at fighting ghasts. Like, just truly terrible at it. And I figure this could be a good way to improve... Oh, okay, that's not good. But I guess we probably need somewhere a bit more secluded than, like, this wide open area with 3 ghasts attacking at once. Yeah, that probably would make sense. Oh, there we go, and it's over. Perfect. So, yeah, a fun fact about looting, by the way, that I like to share this every now and then. It's one of my favorite, like, facts about Minecraft, because you can really use this in some wacky ways. But you basically... the way looting works is you don't have to kill a mob with looting to get the effect. You just have to kill it while the sword is out. So this means that if you kill a mob with, let's say, this bow over here, and then we switch out to our sword, which we'll actually do once or twice to prove a point, then it will actually, you know, it will count as looting, and you'll get the extra loot, even though you never used your sword, which is really good, especially when, you know, swords have durability. Mine doesn't because it has mending, but, like, let's pretend that they all do for this particular example. And yeah, that'll be a cool little thing like that. So yeah, let's kill some ghasts. Let's maybe even use... Okay, let's just use our bow right here. Then you switch out. And that should have given me looting. And the way we can tell, so 2 gunpowder might be normal, but the ghast is only 1. So there's a chance they patched it even. But yeah, it's hard to be sure if it's lucky or whatever. But my point being is whacking back fireballs, even though you're not killing them with your sword, it still counts there too, because you're doing it like that. So there's a ghast behind me as well. So yeah, we're about halfway into our thing. We started with 13 or 12, and now we're at 21. So we got about 9 so far. That's like 4 gunpowder a minute. So it probably is faster just to wait till nighttime and kill creepers. We can test against that too. But for now, let's I want to talk about what I've been up to this week. A lot of people, you know, like the vlog. A lot of people like the Let's Play because, like, you know, you get to see this world once a week. The one I spend most of my time and effort in, I guess. But a lot of people like it. Am I gonna get that gunpowder? I guess not. Oh no, there it is. A lot of people like it because, like, I keep you up to date with what's been going on in my life. And honestly, my life this past week's been really quite interesting. I went to Germany again, I think I mentioned. I went to... I brought some friends over and played some Catan. And we've been getting, like, really into, like, messing around with Catan. Like, we ruined the rules to the level where, like, it's kind of not fun anymore. And it's ridiculous that it's still fun when it's not fun. Like, we've removed the element of fun from the game, and we're still having a lot of fun playing it. And again, that sounds like such a weird thing to say on the surface. But trust me when I say, like, oh yeah, if you ever play the Catan board game, it's like a hard one to come across. But if you do play it, then, okay, so let's fly after this one. That's so much fun to just fly at a ghast. Like, they're just not expecting it. And it's kind of like beautiful revenge. But yeah, like I was saying, it's kind of great. I'd recommend it for board games. I mentioned it last week, like, oh yeah, board games are like video games, but you can play them in real life, and it's social. But yeah, that's a real thing I thought. And yeah, so it's basically to go to Germany. I didn't just, so there's a ghast behind me too. We'll go for that one first, I guess. Oh, there isn't a ghast. Oh no, it's just over there. It's like, okay. But yeah, basically, to go to Germany, I take a plane, like, with a weird thing. Well, I took a train to get back, and the Eurostar, in case you're curious, is the only, like, way to get from Europe, basically, to the UK. I mean, you can argue, like, Ireland to Northern Ireland has rail links, but the only, because it has to go in a giant tunnel under the sea. It's a weird thing, but that's the thing you have to go through, right? So there's a thing called the Eurostar. I'm mentioning that because the Eurostar has this check-in thing, like, because... you know, like, you have to go through security, and, like, there's, like, border checks. Fun fact, between the UK and Europe, there's, like, full-on border checks and stuff. You have to go through all these little steps, and, like, you know, they say, like, oh yeah, there's check-ins, so you gotta be here 30 minutes before your train leaves. And I think it's 45 minutes, they say on their website. And then when you get to the station, it's like, oh yes, this is gonna close 30 minutes before the train leaves. And, like, I got there maybe, like, 18 minutes before the train left, and it was still open, because, you know, they just lie to you. And then it shut maybe, like, you know, 2 minutes after me or something like that. And it made me realize, like, I was late to this train, I still made it, and that's a good thing, you know? That's the 5-minute timer. So I got, in that time, 12 gunpowder, or 2.6 minutes. We'll come back to that. But yeah, basically, that's not that good, really. But now what I want to try is, can we kill ghasts, stay in midair, and craft fireworks to stay there? Which is what I'm going to try right now, actually. So we're going to attack this ghast. Okay, wait, we'll fly at the ghast. Okay, I really want to get back to my story. It is a good... oh, no, it's gone. What we can actually do, though, fun fact, is we can actually, like, craft fireworks while we're in midair. Like, add to our firework total. And then we're ready to just fire one again. This is one of my favorite things to do in survival. It really just feels like you've mastered it when you're at the point where you're like, you can stay in midair pretty much indefinitely. As long as you have an anvil, I guess, with you, or like a big pile of anvils. I guess you could just like stay near one and like do it quickly. But yeah, you can stay in the air pretty much indefinitely, which is, I think that's pretty funny stuff personally. But yeah, so I guess until your thing breaks, unless you have mending, in which case it's forever. So yeah, fun fact. In theory, if you had a mending elytra, maybe unbreaking too would be nice. But where'd you go? There you are. If you had a mending elytra, in theory you could stay in flight, killing ghasts all day, just, you know, non-stop in Minecraft, which is fun. It'd be tricky because you have to like collect it from midair, but still, I mean, there are trickier things in the world, and they're not quite as cool to say. Like, oh yeah, I kill ghasts all day, every day. I'm gonna get destroyed. But yeah, back to my story then. As we just finish up the last of the ghasts, and then we go back to the overworld, because I think it's probably nighttime there, so we can test against creepers maybe. Oh, skeletons. I hate these. I hate how skeletons spawn in the Nether. It doesn't even make sense. It's just like, you know what? It'd be funny if our most annoying mobs spawn in the Nether too. So they just do. That's just how that works. But yeah, basically, so there's a thing called Eurostar to get from the UK to Europe, and there's like you have to check in, and they basically just lied, basically, you know, twice. They lied at the station. They lied there, like, oh yeah, it closes then, but it doesn't. It closes like sometime after, and this is presumably because if everyone knew the lie, then you know, everyone would get there at 18 minutes past, and like it wouldn't be enough time to everyone get past. But it seems still feels. I can't say words correctly, but it still feels like you know, that's like kind of lying to the people that that's not even just lying to people, it's lying to the people who are actually like following your directions. Like, this is the same thing airlines do actually too. They say like, oh yeah, last boarding call, 30 minutes before the flight leaves. You can get there like 10 minutes before you're still gonna board. And it's just like, it's this giant like dishonesty thing that only tricks up people who are like listening to you. And I feel like that's the worst thing in the world. Like, imagine, I don't know, I feel like that's literally like betraying the trust of people, the trust of people and stuff, right? And it's great for me because like I now know, and I don't have to show up for flights or like trains like until like just before they fly. But it sucks for people that like, you know, are going on their first thing and they're just like, oh no, we gotta be there 30 minutes. So they get there 30 minutes full of 30 minutes. Like I see a bunch of people like, you know, just the moment like the gate's called at an airport, they're like, gotta get there. You know, the last boarding call's in this many minutes. And it's just one of these like, I want to say evil things where it's just like, that by lying to the people most likely to listen to them, they kind of like double lie. But, you know, it's just one of those things. Pro tip for flying, you don't have to be at the gate when they say you do. Pro tip for the Eurostar, you don't have to be at the gate until like a little bit after you say they do. Although I had missed the train because I got there like 10 minutes before and they're like, sorry, it's closed. And I was just like, oh, well, I guess I can't come through now. But yeah, my point being is don't worry about it. If you're one of those people that shows up like 2 hours before, the half an hour before, then you don't have to worry about it either. Because pro tip, this is one of those like annoying lessons to learn, because then you realize like your whole life until this point, like, oh, I've taken like 25 flights until I realized that, and then you just realize like, oh, that was all just because the airline, you know, well, oh, what the heck just happened there? Did another gas kill it? Maybe. That'd be pretty cool if that's the case, right? Oh, come on, darn it. But yeah, so I guess we'll come out for the Nether now. We'll kill some creepers in the overworld, get some more fireworks. And I'll mention, I kind of want to talk about another thing which has been like on my mind a lot this week, because again, it's the whole like setting things up in a, I guess, you know, same thing of like, oh yeah, companies lie to you all the time, which is, you know, that's not only true of like, oh yeah, they'll tell you times and, you know, like hope that like people just get there early so that everyone gets there on time, but because, you know, I have friends who do this, and like I do this to friends, I'll admit sometimes, where like, this guy is always half an hour late, so I'll just tell him to be there half an hour early. And it works perfectly whenever I do that, so, you know, maybe it's not so evil, or maybe it is evil and I just should be doing that to friends. My point being is, like, companies also, like, you know, the people who do this sort of stuff, I feel like they lie every time, because whenever you hear it on the announcements, like, we hope you have a pleasant journey home, it's like, no, you don't really hope I have a pleasant journey home. Like, you're just saying that because that's what, you know, people say. Like, I feel like if you really cared about that, then you could go through some effort for it. Except no, you're just a business. What you hope is that I paid my money and I got my ticket and now I'm at my destination. That's what you really hope for, and that thing has happened. Like, I don't know why, but like that really, like, every now and then I think about it and it's like, oh, this isn't correct. And it's one of the most ridiculous things to think about, because like, you really shouldn't, you know, care like the pleasantries a company's saying. But I think some people, you know, because everyone who thinks about it is like, yeah, obviously the company doesn't care about me. But it must be one of those things where like, if you don't think about it, it must just sink in as the truth. I think that must be like how we work as like people. Like, if you you know, sometimes if you think about anything more than enough, like no one's stupid enough to believe this crazy thing or that crazy thing, but the truth is just like you can't think about everything, and if you don't think about it, you might just assume the things you've heard are true. This is why, fun fact by the way, a lot of businesses do really well just with name recognition, because if you don't have the time to like look into exactly like which laptop you should buy, which phone you should buy, if you don't know which microwave you should buy, you'll just buy the brand name because you're just like, oh yeah, I haven't thought about this one, but like they're probably good. They said they were good once, and you know that's a thing. And that's why adverts actually work. Like that's why, you know, because I live off adverts, fun fact, and always have. That's why adverts are so effective, and why, you know, businesses pay so much. They don't pay so much on YouTube. It's like really, really tiny amounts on YouTube. But you know, on TV, they pay like, you know, thousands for these, you know, like 30-second ads. And the reason for that is because even though most people aren't going to watch a, you know, commercial for a microwave and be like, oh, this microwave is the best, I'm going to buy like 5. What realistically happens? It'd be better if I was on the other side of the world, wouldn't it? Okay, let's just go into the forest. No, I need a big plains biome, so I'll fly over to the big plains, not the big plains, the like flatland, but I'll fly to the big one in between there. But yeah, again, trying to stay on some semblance of a topic. But yeah, basically, well, I think this is why advertising works, because like, you know, all they have to do is like say our brand name. We're important enough to buy advertising for ourselves. And you're like, maybe they are kind of good, I guess. So yeah, my goal here is just to look for creepers, and we'll do a similar thing where we just see how many creepers we can kill quickly, because it might not be that many. I only see, like, I don't see a single one actually right here. I'm just seeing more skeletons because they followed me back from the Nether, and I guess daytime's coming, so we might not see any ever. Yeah, is that it? It's just like, oh yeah. Oh no, there's 2 creepers there. So yeah, I would recommend, if you want to get gunpowder, the Nether route's good because it comes with ghast tears. Like, those are really necessary later on in the game. But for regeneration potions, I think it's regeneration, and also for the regenerating end crystals. But besides that, like realistically, it just comes down to like, yeah, creepers would be faster. I just proved it right there, and that's a thing that we now know. So yeah, that's a useful little lesson to have in the bank, I guess. And I guess now we'll go back to the Nether, and we'll start working on a bridge to get from, because you know I'm not going to reset my Nether in quite some time, but I have this big issue of like my portals near the Woodland Mansion, which I'm going to be doing at some point. Again, live stream idea. The portals near the Woodland Mansion are like really separated from the rest of my world. So we'll fly back through there. We'll actually make some more fireworks first, because I can just do this like infinitely. Like as long as I'm killing creepers on a semi-regular basis, I'm always going to be crafting more flight than I'm using. Okay, so let's. Oh, okay. How do we do this? So yeah, it's always hard to like get that first flight going. You have to like find a platform like this, and just kind of fly upwards and hope for the best. But yeah, we'll go back through the Nether, we'll start working a little bit bridge, and then we'll get some more gunpowder there too. Because you know, today's theme is just gunpowder. I've learned a thing, that the ghast method seems like it's faster when it's really working, but I think like to be good enough at killing ghasts is just nearly impossible compared to how many creepers you can kill in a minute or 2 minutes. I think the only reason you should do it is if you want to have fun, which it kind of is, I'll admit, or if you want to just get the ghast hits. It's not faster, I wouldn't say. Oh, maybe XP too, because you get double XP from ghasts. I think anyway. But yeah, just a fun little fact I should mention right here. So I'm still so pleased. I only just remembered I got that ghast, that witherhead at the start of the episode. That's some pretty good luck, right? Like, yeah, that's not just me overreacting, is it? That's also very, very good stuff, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, staying on my point. So from before, companies lie all the time, and it's almost like that's kind of how the world works. Like, people lie to you. I think this is maybe a lesson in thinking about the things that you see. Because if you idly don't think, then that's how you become that again, like people say like, oh, that makes you a sheep, and I don't believe that whatsoever. But I think that is how you like start to just absorb stuff without even realizing it. Because you know, your brain's always thinking. It's just sometimes it's thinking without you realizing that it's thinking, and that leads to bad things. And this is why maybe companies say like, oh yeah, we wish you have a pleasant journey, because then you'll think like, wow, British Airways really care about, or you know, the Eurostar, they really care about my day. Because if you're just not thinking, that absorbs into your brain, and that then makes you more likely to go with them again. But you really shouldn't. You shouldn't go with a company based on whether they wish you a nice day at the end. This is also, you know, okay, this might be like an interpersonal lesson too. Like, you also shouldn't make. Actually, no, I was gonna say like with a person, it should be the same. Like, you shouldn't like a person more just wishing them a nice day. But you know, I think you should. I think wishing someone a nice day, that's good. That shows that you have the oh, that was so close. That like shows something at least. That's, you know, when it's person to person, at least like they know you, they know the context. And if it's in a good context, sure, you can like the person more. But you shouldn't make your travel decisions based on whether you get wished a nice day or not. So yeah, that's just my little opinion right there. But also this week, so I've been thinking about like how certain prices kind of exist to make you feel like you're outsmarting them, but really they outsmart you by making you think you outsmart them. And the big examples of this are like I think chicken nuggets is the big one. That's one I read about, and I was like, oh yeah, because the first one I knew about actually is movie theaters and that's or cinemas, and they're both the things right there. But basically, the places you watch the films, right? They always have. Oh, I was here to build a bridge. They always have, like 3 sizes of popcorns and drink. Like small, medium, and large. And it's always like £3.25 for the small, £3.75 for the medium, and like £4 for the large. And you think, wow, that large is just so much better value than the small and the medium. And then you go ahead and you buy it, and then they've just, instead of turning the decision from like, oh yeah, should I buy popcorn or fry? Can you buy fries at places? I don't know, maybe in America, but yeah, instead of being like, should I buy, popcorn? Should I buy a drink? Should I buy these things? It turns into, I'm gonna buy that one. I'm gonna outsmart them, but really they outsmarted you because you think you outsmarted them. And I think, another big example is McDonald's and their chicken nuggets, right? Everyone I know has done this exact same thing, and that's how you know it's ridiculous. Where they're like, oh yeah, so for 20 McNuggets, I want to say it's like £4 in the UK. It might be a bit less. And you think, like, if you heard that by itself, that's so ridiculous. I wanted to buy some recently, and I thought, like, no, that's terrible. But if you look at the other McNuggets, it's like 6 McNuggets for, like, £2.99, and, like, 9 for £3.99. And you just think to yourself, like, what the... That's so much, they're so much less expensive. And then the 20 seemed like such a good deal because, like, per nugget, it's so good. It's only, like, 25p, which is still a lot, though. Or 20p, I might have done the maths wrong. But my point being is, it's still a lot, but you don't think it's a lot because you're only comparing it to other things. And I think this is actually like, this is one of the big things in life of like, trying to outsmart things. Sometimes there's like a big market in people who think you're outsmarting them. So next time you think like, aha, I found the secret. If you're like, my favorite one of these ones is like when something's buy one, get one free, but it's, or like, buy 3 for the price of 2. But God, that was close. When something's buy 3 for the price of 2, and you only really want one thing, so you're like, but I'll get 2 of them anyway, and then I'll kind of show people. Like, this happens so often, where, like, family are like, aha, I got this really good deal thing, but it's like, no, you just bought extra product from this company, and they just sold more of it. Like, that's, you didn't outsmart them, they outsmarted you again. And this happens a lot, and I just wanted to kind of point out that, don't, if you buy something you didn't previously want, then you have still kind of been outsmarted. Like, sometimes it's, like, mutually accepted, like, I quite like it when KFC convinces me to buy chicken, because chicken's great, but sometimes it's not quite so, I guess, nice and stuff, because, if you bought something you didn't want to buy, then that's a thing. And that's just one of those little life lessons I learned. I was like, maybe I could share that. And anyway, one more thing before I go, because I've got some chicken in the oven, and it needs to be taken out quite soon. So I'm going to get this bridge done as well. Hopefully, I'll probably just fall off. But yeah, I've got some chicken in the oven. It needs to come out quite soon. So when I put it in there, I have this button on my oven. It's got like a thermometer on it. Is thermometer the word? A thing that measures heat on it. And when there's this button, and when you press it, it goes into overclock mode. Everything goes red, and it's like warning. This uses more like. It doesn't even say what it uses. It just says like warning. You're in overclock mode now. And basically, because my oven has this like overclock button, I can't help but think permanently about like, what is this for? What is this achieving? Because I thought about it, and like, okay, so if if this makes the oven get hotter faster, then why was that not already on there? Like, is there some good reason? But if it just makes the oven get hotter, then isn't that making your oven less precise? Because a lot of people, in fact, a lot of people who have like good ovens will say this, like, oh, this oven's really good, so 200 degrees, if it says it needs 200 normally, it really needs 175, because that means that your oven is less precise, right? Like, oh yeah, so, like because my 175 is your 200, and it's like, well, that just means that your oven's bad. It can't measure temperature. But if we say like, okay, nope, it measures temperature perfectly, it just gets there faster, or it uses more energy or something like that. And it's like, so why is there a trade-off? Or if it gets faster with no trade-offs, and then why is that not enabled by default? I think it's just one of these things where like, if you're in a hurry, you want to feel good, so you press the overclock button, and then the oven's like, don't worry, we got you here, and that's kind of that. So, yeah, I guess that maybe falls under the 2 things from before. Maybe that's just me being silly and, like, I guess, like, my brain thinking, like, yeah, gonna overclock this so hard. Or maybe it's not that. But anyway, I've achieved my goal. I built a bridge here. I killed some ghast, I got a bunch of gunpowder, and now I've got some fireworks so I can fly around and do stuff, such as what I'll be doing next week, which will involve the banners, I think. I think I'll be putting them either on the Nev portal. I'll do something with them, probably never related because they're purple, but we'll see. I hope you did enjoy this week's episode. Like it if you liked it, share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, you'll see them daily on your homepage. I feel like I talk like slightly less about like important stuff whenever like there's crazy stuff going on, like ghast attacks, so maybe next week we'll do something chill, but for now, hope you all enjoyed it, because I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!